Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is your boy Messiah Boss, and you are tuned in to You Hook Now the Podcast. You Hook Now the Podcast. You can catch me on the Anchor website, the Anchor podcasting website. It is a user-friendly podcasting app that makes it easy for you to do podcasting from home, podcasting on the go, podcasting from any mobile device. Also, if you're on Twitter, that's where I'm at. That's my social media. That's my social media land. If you're on Twitter, go hit my handle at Messiah X5. Messiah capital X and 5. And that's where you'll find me. From there, go to my profile. Boom, you'll see my two YouTube links. I have two different YouTube links, which will lead you to one YouTube page that I have all my You Hook Another podcast on. And my other YouTube link will take you to the devotional part of my life, my spiritual part of my life, me reading my devotions every day. I decided to take it upon myself to create a devotional podcast just discussing just the little minor, devotionals. I'm a spiritual person. I do believe in God. I do believe in Christ. And I do believe in the Holy Spirit. I do believe that that is the way. No matter who like it, it's not up for debate. And I'm in it because the world needs more positivity. The world needs more optimism. The world needs more truth, and we need more love. We don't need no more separation. We don't need none of that. We need love. We need love, togetherness, and unity. But yeah. So that's where you can catch me at for my podcasting, and I'll be looking to expand. Like I said on previous podcasts, uh, I am going to incorporate my I'm going to incorporate my Cash App. I'm not. I was gonna do a GoFundMe and all that, but my wife was just like, just see what your Cash App will do first. So I'm jumping on my Cash App. I'm gonna upload my Cash App in the descriptions when I upload this on YouTube, and and straight to the point. Don't. I'm a listener sponsored podcast. I have no financial backing. I have no sponsors. So for the people who listen to me and for the people who enjoy what I do, just donate to my Cash App. No particular increment, no particular amount. Whatever your heart leads you to donate. And I'm a grow by the help of the people. I will have favor from the Most High, and I will grow by the favor of the people. So at the end of the day, if I want to take over the city, I need citywide sponsors. If I need to take over the state, I need statewide sponsors. If I want to take over the country, I need countrywide sponsors. If I want to take over the world, I need sponsorship from the world. It's as simple as that. But enough with that. Enough with the small talk. Let me lead you into this second topic. I try not to keep you guys long. I know I always say that, and I always end up dragging it out to 30, 45 minutes. But it's quite simple, man. I posted a tweet a few months back, and it was talking about the way men and women treat each other, all the gender wars that we always see, and how we always fighting over the most simple-minded things. And it's simple as this. We live on this planet, right? Y'all all know what planet we live on. We live on planet Earth. And you guys do know how many genders are on this planet, right? It's only male and female. So it's only male and female, it's only man and woman. What I want you people to understand, and this is especially the fellas, especially geared toward the fellas, but I love when the ladies listen. Someone has to lead the charge in into the future of how we're going to change the way we react with each other. Someone has to lead that charge. Someone has to step up. Some gender has to step up and decide to say, you know what, we're going to be the bigger, not saying that we're better, not saying that we're superior, but we're going to be the bigger person. We're going to seek the extra understanding. We're going to step up and be the bigger gender, and we're gonna, try to change the tide in the way that men and women treat each other, how men and women respond to each other, how men and women react to each other. And this is what I want fellas to know. Fellas, it's simple as this with me. Nothing will change. Nothing will change if we don't lead the charge. Nothing will change if we don't lead the charge. All throughout history, fellas, we gotta take accountability for this. All throughout history, every stage of the woman's existence, we've, as men, as males, always found some type of reason to dislike it, to discredit it, to say this is not what we want. You know, like even from you know very back in the biblical times. The biblical times, oh man, every man wanted his wife to be at home, typical housewife. Well, guess what? Men got so tired of seeing that they asked Moses for divorce decree. Moses gave them for a divorce decree because they got tired of seeing the typical woman in that fashion. Okay, you move on through history. Women start being more forthcoming, more open, more, given the rights to speak up and things like that. Guess what? We didn't like that either. You know, women wanted to move from being the housewives, and men complained about women being housewives, and not understanding their pain of working 15 16 hours a day, and getting sweaty and getting cut and coming home full of oil and coming home full of smoke from being in the mines, and dealing with all kind of calluses, and dealing with all kind of sore muscles and injuries and things like that. So guess what? Women decided to take it upon themselves and fight to put themselves in position to do what? Start making money, start getting out into the field and working. Outside of World War II and men going to war and women have to stepping up to take the jobs, women start fighting for rights to do what? Work. Men didn't like that either. So we found another reason not to like women in their progression for somehow, some way. We didn't like them in the kitchen. When we had them in the kitchen, we found a problem. They got out and they start putting on skirt suits and slacks. And they start getting CEO jobs. And we didn't like it. They're taking the men's jobs. We didn't like it. We found another reason to discredit and not like their progression. Now we got women who are bona fide millionaires now. Bona fide millionaires. And some are billionaires. And guess what? Many of us men still don't like it. A woman can come from wealth. She can come from a wealthy family. And just so happened that her parents didn't have a male child. Guess what? Some way, shape, form, or fashion, we still find a reason not to like it. So I pose this question to men. What do you really want from women? What do you really want? Because when women want to sit around and not do anything, they can't do that because what? You're not making enough money. She don't understand your struggles. She don't understand your grind. So that wasn't good enough. So finding herself and getting out into this working field, like I said once before, led her to new positions, new power, new ways to verbalize herself, new ways to understand that this is no longer, quote unquote, by society, a man's world. Women can get it too. We didn't like it. So what do we really want out of a woman? And we can't situationally choose to maneuver and dip in and out of biblical principles when it works for our situation. If we're going to use biblical principles, we need to use it from the jump. Now, I'm not going to get too deep on biblical principles right now. That's another episode, but I promise you, I'll break that down. I really want to jot some stuff down and break that down when it comes to biblical principles, roles of men and women. A lot of people got this misunderstood. But like I said, that's another episode. But what I'm coming to you tonight on really is before we even get to discussing, a woman's role, what women make, attributions that she brings to the house, and all that other good stuff. Before we get to that, I just want to talk about three things that I feel like we as men need to change when it comes to women. We need to really understand. Now, bear with me. Like I said, there's only two genders on this planet. And one gender has to step up and lead the charge in the change in how we encounter and interact with each other. Somebody got to do it. And men, let's be honest, it's not going to happen if we don't do it. It's not going to happen if we don't do it. If we don't step up and start overstanding things. The Bible says a man should dwell with women or dwell with his wife according to understanding. At the end of the day, we have to step up and be not the superior gender, but we have to step up and understand that we are called to do more. We are called to play this, to live out this role as headship. We are called to live out this role, this position as a man. And what men have to understand is simple as this. I see a lot of men, and just the way you react towards women is ridiculous. It's downright ridiculous, man. It's downright ridiculous because it's no way. Like, don't get it twisted. I understand how some people be using, different verbiage and different terminologies, like in a sentence or in a phrase that is not directly trying to offend women, but it's still derogatory to a degree. And one thing I know about men is men don't want nobody policing their mouth. So I know a lot of guys might hate me for this. And it's perfectly fine. A lot of guys might hate me for this. But fellas, if we really want change in this world, if we really want respect and honor and dignity and courage and pride in this world like God intended to have, fellas, we gotta step up and change how we interact with women. Which, in hindsight, we have to step up and change how we interact amongst ourselves as men. I'm tired of seeing men or males, because a lot of males ain't men. I'm tired of seeing a lot of men kinging each other, kinging each other. All we kings, we kings when we we laughing and everything like that. But the snap of the finger, the very next moment, we nigga this, I hate nigga this. Nigga, this, you sorry, you a BA nigga and all that. Like we snap and we turn. Like we have no consistency whatsoever. But at the end of the day, I'm talking about how men and women encounter. I'll get to men and how we need to address each other on a further episode from now. I know a lot of women are going to be like, you need to talk about men and men. Yeah, I will get to that. But I'm talking about men and women because the reality of it is and I see it. Males do have the capability to treat women right. They do. They do. But they don't use their restraint all the time when it comes to treating women. First point. First point of what I'm saying. Men have to stop allowing how they feel towards women to dictate how you move as a man. You have to stop allowing how you feel towards women to dictate how you move as a man. I said this, I tweeted this a while back, and a lot of people took it the wrong way. A lot of women took it the wrong way, and a lot of men didn't understand where I was coming from. You know, a lot of women took it as, you know, because they are so used to feeling that they have to build up a male to make him a man, so they should be able to tell a male what a man is. They took it in that aspect, which I'm gonna be honest with you. A woman, like, don't get me wrong, you might understand and see some good attributes that a man has, some good traits and qualities, but you'll never be able to tell a man what a man is. Just like a woman, just like a man can never be able to tell a woman what a woman is. So we don't walk in each other's shoes. I don't do what you do. My purpose is not your purpose in life, you know, and vice versa. But what I meant by what I was saying, men have to stop allowing how you feel towards women to dictate how you move as a man. See, males will see women in certain lights, right? Males will see women in certain lights. And instead of keeping his honor up, and instead of bringing honor to the encounter, and instead of bringing dignity to the encounter, and instead of bringing respect to the encounter, what the male will normally do is downgrade his manhood, downgrade his manship to talk down to a woman, to talk and degrade a woman. He'll normally degrade who he is. He'll normally degrade his kingship. He'll normally downgrade his God-given, and he'll forfeit his God-given masculinity and all that as a man to downgrade his terminology to talk bad to a woman. To downgrade a woman. And he puts so much energy into tearing this woman down or talking bad to her when it was just so easy. When it was just easy to be respectful with the situation. It's like this. I seen a clip the other day on social media. And oh man, you know, the jokes wrote themselves. But it was really hard. It was really heartbreaking. It was really depressing. Because this woman, because yes, she still is a woman, she gets on a national syndicated radio podcast or whatever, and she's telling a guy, you know, about her sexual escapades and what she did with a whole NBA team and things like that. So I'm not going to lie. I let a joke fly. But I didn't let a joke fly disrespecting her. The joke I let loose in the atmosphere was possibly gearing to how her father would feel or the actions he would take, knowing and sitting back and watching her describe these acts. But not once did I ever call that woman a hoe. Not once did I ever call that woman a bitch. Not once did I ever call that woman a slut, a skank, a scallywag, none of that. She still was a woman. I didn't let, even though the mind, even though your personal self-proclaimed intellect will say, hey man, she moving real hoishly. But my instincts as a male kicked in, even though my self-proclaimed intellect wanted to be like, yeah, man, she really showing real hoe tendencies. But my instincts as a man kicked in and was like, she's still a woman though. And even if that woman was sitting in front of my face, it wouldn't change the way I move and the way I address her as a man. It wouldn't change that. You know, it wouldn't change the way I treated her. Even though she may have been living and doing some acts that I really didn't agree with, it wouldn't change the way I treat her. You know, it wouldn't change the way I treat her. I wouldn't talk down on her. I wouldn't treat her bad. And that's what I mean by we have to stop allowing how we feel towards women or how you encounter women to dictate how you move as a man. See, I can be in the city and I can be walking into a restaurant and I can see a lady and she homeless and she out there selling her body. If it's not an inconvenience to my family, I'll still go and talk to that person. And I still treat them like a woman. If I walk to a store and I'm about to go in the store and I see a lady that's coming up to the same store trying to get into the same door, and I know she's a woman who walks the street and sells her body, or she's on drugs, still, I would never disrespect her. And still, I would treat her like a woman and open the door for her like a man should do to a woman. Because at the end of the day, no matter how I encounter her, no matter how I see her, no matter how we cross each other's paths, she's still a woman on this earth. She's still a walking, living, breathing woman. And the reality is I cannot judge that woman because at the end of the day, I'm meeting her right now and she's at a ground zero. She's at a rock bottom. But I don't know enough about her life to make any judgments on her life of how she got to that point. So as a man, I lead the charge in how this encounter works. And it's not enough men leading the charge in how these encounter works. It's not enough males leading the charge to make sure these women are okay. Because guess what? I'm talking to you as an individual male who calls himself a man. It's up to you. You are in control of your actions. You are in control of your actions. So just because you see her and she broke, busted, and she down and out, it don't mean you gotta treat her like that. It don't mean you gotta treat her like that. Man, that woman, when she ran across you in the little passing bys of life, that you could have been the last person that woman met. And when she came across you, out of a million other people she's seen that treated her bad, you could have made a choice to treat her with respect and dignity And that right there could have changed the tide of that whole lady's life. That could have put something into that woman's spirit. That could have put something into that woman's heart. That could have put something into that woman's head that would have made her change their life. You could have been that one person that woman could have been like, dang, there's still good people out here. There's still good men out here. But you chose not to do it. You chose to see her in her circumstances, and you chose to, which brings me to my next point. You chose to address her foully, and you chose to address her based on her circumstances. Which leads me to point number 2. Man, we have to change the way we address women. It's about leading the charge. Leading the charge. But see, you know what's wrong with males today? We want to go back and forth like a tennis game. We act like little boys. Hell, I don't even want to disrespect little boys. Like, we act worse than little boys. We act like an unearthly species. You want to go back and forth with the woman. Oh, she called me this, so I'm going to call her her name. She called me this, so I'm going to call her that. It don't matter what she called you. It's up to you to bring the dignity and respect and honor to the situation. So even if she's acting, quote unquote, like a whole act, do you got to keep calling her by that? See, fellas, you can't only call a woman a queen when you need something from her. You can't only call a woman a queen when you're trying to get something from her. If you're going to call them a queen, you're going to call them a queen 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You can't just be playing that role when you only want something from a person. It doesn't matter if you see women calling each other bitch or calling each other hoe or calling each other this. You ain't got to do it. You want to know why? You don't got to do it because one day, I hope you're a straight man. I hope you like women. But one day you're going to marry a woman, right? We know the times that we living in. We know the era that we living in. So one day you're going to marry a woman. And one day you're going to have to check her friends because her friends going to think it's okay to be able to call your woman, which will become your wife, still hoes and bitches. And you got to check that. So guess what? Why not start checking that now? Why not change how you address women now? So why not address women differently so maybe they can wake up and start getting other women and start not agreeing with that? Why don't us as men, no matter how we see them, we address them as they should be addressed? If you can't address a woman that you don't know by excuse me, ma'am, or their name if you know them, you don't need to address them by nothing else. But we don't want to lead the charge. And we were put here to lead the charge. Y'all are waiting on women to straighten out when it's our job to make sure they get straightened out. See, that's the problem. What's wrong with these males? We always want to be like, that ain't on me. That's on her. We do anything to not step up and be men. We do anything to not step up and have to command or demand these changes. I just don't understand how a man can walk around with a whole woman that he's claiming. His girlfriend, his wife. And let not only her girlfriends call her out of her name, but let his partners call her out of her name. Where have we fallen to? I seen a guy the other day who was perfectly okay with his partners calling his girl a B. And this his girl. Not only just his girl, she got a kid by him. This his kid's mama. And fellas, if you don't see nothing with it, most likely the women ain't gonna see nothing with it. Wrong with it. Fellas, we gotta change the way we address our women. It doesn't matter. At least we can do is clean up our act. See, but we don't have the stamina to do that because we don't want to police ourselves and we don't want to censor ourselves. We have become so in love with disrespecting women. It's crazy, man. The same woman that a man will lay down and say he love every day and he'll protect every day, he call her out of her name every day. And it got so bad they doing it in front of the kids left and right. It has gotten so bad. Our women are so distorted in this world that a man could sit in front of his own mama and disrespect this girl, but his mama would look at the situation like he would never turn his back on me like that. And be all right with it. Mamas will be out there telling their sons, put that B in check. And this is a representation of you as a woman. That's why I say, fellas, and I ain't saying all women are lost, but majority of them are. And we have to step up and clean up our act, censor ourselves, and change the tide. Things are not going to change unless we put forth the actions to change it. Us as men, they're not going to change. The Bible says, as men called it, so it was. I watched my homeboy, man. I watched my homeboy talk about how much he wanted a good woman. And literally 15 minutes after he said that, he started going about how much he needs some hoes. Boy, I need to get my hoes back up. I need to get my hoes back up. And I'm like, man, I thought you said you wanted a good woman. Bro, I need to get me some hoes, bro. I need to get me some hoes, good woman or some hoes. And guess what? He got a roster. He had a roster. And I'm not going to lie. The roster of females that came to him, they were nice. They were bad. They were official. But as a man, I'm telling you, as a man thinking, so shall it be. As a man call it, that what it's going to be. And he wanted hoes, and that's what he got. A bunch of hoes. Like, he got a bunch of women. I necessarily said they wasn't hoes, but he got a bunch of women that put him through a lot of misery that he looked at as hoes. He spoke that on himself. Men, we got to change the way we address women, even if it's not a woman that we don't have anything going on with. We gotta stop being so quick. We gotta stop being so quick to want to disrespect women, man. It's like a snap of a finger. It's like dudes wake up and they be looking out the window like a dog waiting for the owner to open up the door so they can jet out the door. Like, that's how quick men just be ready to disrespect women. Don't get it. We gonna get on the women one day, but not right now. I'm talking about the fellas. We gotta change the way we address our women, man. We tear them down. They got their own demons to deal with. Why they need more? Why they need to fight more? Why they need to fight what we gonna pile on top of them? If we know as people, like I said, I'm gonna get on women later too, not in this podcast. But if we know as people, we each have our own individual demons that we gotta get past, that we gotta somehow work past. Why are we stacking the deck on people when they already got a fight to fight? So if you know these women got to shake all this stuff that we know deep down inside that we don't like, why are you as a male stacking more on top of her? Why? Which leads me to point 3, man. It's plain and simple. Fellas, we just got to understand we need women, man. We need them. Stop saying, if you a heterosexual man, stop saying you don't need a woman. Because you do. You do. Some way, shape, form, or fashion, you need a woman. If the Almighty was to sit here and snap his fingers and pull the Thanos and disintegrate all women off this earth, we would be looking sick. We need women just like women need us. Unless you playing on that other team. Unless you back busting. Unless you in a man back box. I don't know about you, but I need a woman, man. A woman. The Bible said, let every husband have his own wife and let every wife have her own husband. We need each other. The Bible didn't say let every man have his own man and every woman have his own woman. But that's another topic, though. But I'm just telling you the truth, and I'm just keeping it real with you. We need each other. I sent out a tweet just a few hours ago. Fellas, remember, your name cannot live on. Your name cannot go on if a woman ain't involved in it, man. Some of you fellas are getting some real good. I'm just saying, some of you fellas are really getting shown love by some women, man. Cause you go out there and look, man. I can talk about it. You want to know why? Because I'm in the same boat. I went out there, man. I got some women pregnant. I had kids with them, and at the end of the day, man, they all could have been like, nope, my child ain't taking your last name. I ain't even good enough for you to marry me. My name don't live on. Yeah, I might got some kid. I got some DNA out there, but my name don't live on. And trust me, man, we take pride in our name. We need women. You understand me? So how can you disrespect and degrade and manipulate what we need so much? Now, I ain't saying every man perfect and he gonna change his ways tonight and all of a sudden become holy saint tomorrow. I ain't say that. I ain't say that. But the Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if you want the utmost respect, you want to feel loved, you want to be treated with honor and dignity, you want someone to encourage you, why you ain't encouraging her? Why you ain't treating her with love, respect, dignity, and honor? Why you calling her out of her name? Stop thinking all these crazy name callings in terms of endearment, man. It's bad enough that we got a problem with the word nigga floating around the way it is. Now to sit here, be men and women to be talking about each other, calling each other all these different crazy names that don't mean nothing. We don't even got value in ourselves. We need women. Every man needs a woman. Every man needs a woman. I don't care what lifestyle you live in. Every man needs a woman. And at the end of the day, when you get one, you can't be degrading her. You can't be disrespecting her. You can't be putting your hands on her. At the end of the day, let me tell you something. For you abusive men out there, yeah, the fist can hurt. And it can leave some damage there for quite a while. But that mental damage, they take that to the grave. That psychological damage, they take that to the grave. See, a person can look on their face. A person can look in the mirror and see that they got a nice little slit on their face from when they got to a physical altercation, and they'll still be able to move forward in life. But when their soul has been gutted out from disrespect, from telling them they ain't gonna be nothing, they ain't worth nothing. Imagine you just sitting around just mentally abusing a woman all the time. Emotionally abusing a woman all the time. Man, what kind of man you call yourself? You want to disrespect a woman every day, every time the sun shine, every time the moon pop up, you want to disrespect a woman every second on the clock that tick. We got to change this. Now, I'm not saying what I'm just saying tonight is the end all be all, because I can honestly sit around here and I can talk to y'all for 4 or 5 hours about a plethora of stuff. But I'm just going to end it on this note. Like, we got to stop as males allowing how you feel towards women and how you encounter women in their life to dictate how you move as a man when it comes towards them. Got to stop doing that. You got to change the way you address women. You got to change the way you address them. We got to stop calling them out of their names. We have to lead the charge in this. All that B's and H's and sluts and everything like that, you are not going to get nowhere with that. And trust me, women have mental counters. They will know exactly how many times you done disrespected them and call, even if they stay with you, because they may feel like they ain't gonna get no better if they move around. But trust me, they know how many times you foul-mouthed them. We got to change the way we address women, man. And then finally, we just got to understand we need them. This world wouldn't be, there will be no 8 billion plus people in 2020 without women. Two Steves weren't going to get it done. Two Jacks wasn't going to get it done. Two Tims wasn't going to get it done. Women are part of the purpose of life. We need them. You got to understand, you need your woman. You need your wife. You need the woman that is allotted for you. You need her. You can't build no nation without her. You know what a nation is? A nation don't mean that one woman and one man just had a gazillion kids. No, a nation means mother, father, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren, great-great-great-grandchildren. And we just keep on going. That's what a nation is. So at the end of the day, when you look at you and you look at that woman that you with, remember, fellas, you came from a nation between your father and your mother. Now you looking across the room and you looking at your woman, and y'all about to start a nation. Even though you're a part of a nation, you're about to start a nation. You're always going to be in a nation, even though you're a part of a nation, but you're about to start your own nation. And you don't want to be starting a nation with no woman that you done disrespected. that you to put your hands on, that you don't always talk bad about. You don't need to be adding anything else to this woman's life to make her bitter or to make her even madder than what she is possibly, or to kill the spirit that she has that she barely holding on to. Fellas, come on, man. Stop trying to go tick for tat for these women. And you got to understand, we are the change agents. Ain't nothing changing on this earth until we as men change it. It's just not. We can sit back all you want to, and you can lead. You can feel like the women gonna lead the change, and look at it. I'm not saying that you're gonna always have a woman that's beneath you financially and all that, because no, that has nothing to do with it. Some women are going to be financially advanced more than the man that they with, but at the end of the day, you're still the man. You still gonna lead charge. You know what I'm saying? You are still the headship of your house, of your family. And on top of that, you're just the headship of your being. When you move around, other people are looking at you. Younger guys are looking at you. We need to get more role models for these young dudes. I ain't saying you signing up to be no role model, but at the end of the day, you need to understand as a man, some young man is always watching and ready to model what you do. This ain't about just having your own kids. You got nephews out there that's watching. Hell, you got nieces out there that's watching. Looking and seeing how you treat a woman. Looking and seeing how you can, if you can understand a woman, if you know how to direct and navigate a woman through a conversation without being so mad at her or cursing her out or disrespecting her and calling out of her name or being this. You got other people looking at that. That's what you got. Life as a man is constantly teaching lessons. Even when you don't feel like nobody ain't listening, it's about constantly teaching. Even when you feel like everybody is being rebellious, it's about constantly staying firm and teaching. Even when you feel like nobody's hearing exactly nothing that you're saying, that's what being a man is about. And you don't need to add no more gasoline to an already dysfunctional flame that you may be dealing with. That's just it. But until then, man, I'm checking out. This your boy Messiah Boss. And catch me on the next podcast.